All right, y'all got a special treat today. We're gonna talk about the R&B Mount Rushmore that they put out. Everybody was saying, it's Chris Brown, Usher, R. Kelly, and Michael Jackson. So we're gonna break it down. People gonna break it down, and I'm gonna chime in with them. I got some videos we're gonna play, and we're gonna talk about it, man. Because I'm a singer as well, and I feel like this is important to really break it down. And I'm gonna give you my top five. My top five is um Prince. No, my top five is Stevie Wonder, Raphael Sadiq, Curtis Mayfield, and Marvin Gaye. Each one owns significant to my artistry. So we got some videos where we're gonna play people talking about their opinions and their Mount Rushmores.
Give me your Mount Rushmore. If you got four people to put on this mountain, are your four greatest, or Bobby Brown's four greatest R&B singers, who faces you putting on that mountain?
Damn. You calling me out right now.
I know one's gonna be up there, Marvin Gaye. You're gonna put Marvin up there.
Marvin is definitely up there. Prince is definitely up there.
Okay.
Michael's definitely up there. Stevie Wonder is definitely up there.
You ain't got no more. You got no more room.
You ain't got no
You
more
got
room.
no more room. I'm sorry. We have no more vacancies up here.
Yeah, that's crazy. Bobby Brown still, he more healthier now. He living his life, so that's good, man. I like Don't Be Cruel. Bobby Brown under my Mount Rushmore. I like Don't Be Cruel though. That album was tough. That's his best album for real, for real. I don't think he can never create nothing that can top Don't Be Cruel.
Mount Rushmore R&B.
Who's your Mount Rushmore?
It's easy, but I want to hear yours. What's yours?
I'm gonna go Chris Brown.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna throw R. Kelly up there. I'm throwing R. Kelly up there.
How can you not? How can you not? You know where he's from.
Who else is there? Ooh, that's tough. That's really tough. No, I'm missing somebody. Damn.
No, for real, don't play like that.
I'm gonna have to go through the phone. Hold up.
Are you serious?
I know you're missing one that you could probably.
I know. I just can't think of it right now. Let me see.
Somebody like Chris. Who's Chris's info?
Oh, Usher.
Yeah.
Usher, and then
And then who's his info?
no,
Who's Usher's info?
talking about Michael Jackson. I feel like Michael Jackson isn't R&B. I feel like he's
That
he's
would be
pop.
crazy.
He's pop.
Crazy. That would be insane.
He's king of pop. That's what I'm saying.
On your podcast, don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm
on
gonna
your
say it.
podcast.
I'm gonna say he's not
No,
R&B to me.
No, there's too many R&B songs. Too many.
First of all, Michael Jackson, I don't even put him in the same stratosphere with regular R&B artists such as Chris Brown, Usher, The Weeknd, all these new guys. They can't hold a candle to all the people in the past. Like everybody actually had their own thing going on back in the day. Now today you have it's a young guy out now named JD something. He sounds just like Chris Brown and Usher and Mario. So it's like, man, these cats are not actually putting in the work to understand who they are. They see one person and they want to be that person. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown shouldn't be in the Mount Rushmore because he's trying to be Michael Jackson. And you can't be somebody that's already out, but people is letting him slide with this shit. And I really don't appreciate that as me as a musician. I don't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I want people to have their own style. Because Marvin didn't sound like Stevie. Stevie didn't sound like Luther. Luther didn't sound like Prince. Prince didn't sound like Michael Jackson. So why is that even a thing to people let that slide, bro? Like, I don't like that. Let me see. Shout out to Hurricane putting up. Hurricane said his Mount Rushmore is R. Kelly, Usher, Keith Sweat, and Luther. That's a solid list, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Only person that I kind of like, I can't see him competing with the Rick James, who else? Or the Freddie Jackson. I feel like Freddie Jackson will really give Usher his like. I feel like Freddie Jackson will really destroy Usher in the verses because Freddie Jackson got some hits, but Only thing saving Usher is that Confessions album. If he never did a Confessions album or that 8701 album, I wouldn't have him. I wouldn't even consider him even being on a Mount Rushmore, because after that it's kind of sketchy. After Confessions, it's kind of sketchy. Um, MJ Prince are on a higher list. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. They are like um the faces for each singer. Like if you're a singer that play musicianship, you look at Prince more over Michael. But if you're a performer, you'll put Michael kind of over Prince. But for me, I'm in the middle, because I understand Prince artistry. I understand that the instruments and the things that he do to produce his tracks. Um, as an artist, you need to be able to understand that too as well. And with Michael Jackson on his end, he talks about the more internal nature of life with his music, and it's more of an innocence. So I understand that as well, but I understand Prince way as well as being in charge and having that self confidence within yourself. So I'm in the middle with it. So I need both of their energies into my artistry to understand how to be a musician. Yeah, you replacing Usher with Johnny Gill. I wouldn't even be mad because Johnny Gill can blow. He can blow. Um, what's up, Bronze? Bronze in the building. And yeah, 8701 to confess his best work, because after that, like, it's kind of sketchy. What did he drop after that? I think the only thing he dropped after Confessions that I kind of still was tapped in, because he came back. And then it's another thing. He took a long break like that, and he came back like in '07. And during that time, Chris Brown was out doing his thing. And the only thing I feel with Chris Brown, his first album was cool. And I feel like that got him kind of like over the hump with everybody. But like after that, like, I don't see him actually even doing R&B. R&B. He don't even make soul music. Like, I make soul music where I'm tapping into the inner standing of people. Chris Brown, Usher, um, who else? Who else? Chris Brown, Usher, Jacquees. Um, none of them actually tapped into the internalness of people, where you can wake up and jam a song about uh you want to celebrate your life. You don't have to be rich, but you want to celebrate your life in a way of the abundance, that you know that you are great without all them things. None of them have even ever made a song like that. It's always surface level R&B songs, and that's the shit I don't really care about, and how they are overrating them, but they never produce an album like that. None of them ever produce a What's Going On. None of them ever produce Living in the City like Stevie Wonder. None of them ever even produce a good party track where it don't sound like a trap drill music. Like, that's what I'm saying. Usher got a little bit of it, but like he's still kind of like off a little bit. I'm talking about like on some Diamond in the Back, Sun Rooftop, Dig in the Scene, the Gangster Lean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Songs like that. None of these boys can actually tap into that shit, bro. And that's R&B. That's real soul music. Let me see what Hurricane said. He dropped the flop. Oh yeah, Love in the Club was mid, bro. I ain't like Love in the Club. That was at the little house, middle school, little dance thing back in the day. My last year in middle school, because it came out in '08, and I like my last year in middle school. Yeah, I'm still young, but I'm old at the same time. Let me see. He fell off after yeah, you're right. And he fell off when he married that lady too, and had them kids and stuff like that. He kind of fell off too. But yeah, like, I feel like them boys don't really, they want to be so legendary so quick that people put them on a pedestal so quick, and they want to be legendary so quick that they haven't really able to tap in to their deepest creative ability. They just actually copying Michael Jackson blueprint. Him and Usher do the same thing. Like, it's just that Chris Brown dance a little bit more better. But like I said, if you a copycat person or you emulating somebody that already came through, you shouldn't be on the Mount Rushmore. That's for people who actually took a stand and stayed in their own lane. So my Mount Rushmore is Raphael Sadiq, Stevie Wonder, um, who else I said? Curtis Mayfield and Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? So all four of them had their own distinctive sound. I took a little bit from each one of them, bro. So we're gonna watch some more videos and we're gonna see what everybody else got to say. But I'm just tired of people. I'm just tired of people just putting Chris Brown in that shit because he haven't even produced a Confessions, bro. Like, why are we putting him so high like this? And all he did was copy Michael Jackson and then drop subpar singles that was on the radio all the time. Like, yeah. Cause Hurricane, I'm a student of soul, so I gotta have Marvin on it. I gotta have Stevie. And I gotta have Curtis, and I gotta have Raphael Sadiq. And that's another thing. People are sleeping on Raphael Sadiq. We still got a legend in him that's still healthy, able to do concerts, and he's not really industry. You know what I'm saying? And he got good albums just as good as Raphael Sadiq. I mean Usher and Chris Brown. But we never put him on a route much more, and he was in part of a group. Tony that was successful too and had hits that he came out sang solo artist and had hits, man. But nobody never put him on a rock Rushmore. It's always the same people. I don't think people actually like see it like that, but Rapper Sadiq is very slept on, bro. All right, we're gonna play some more videos.
I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. Michael Jackson is not in the R&B list. He's a pop artist. Michael Jackson, while some of maybe the rhythmic music could be considered R&B in how we think about R&B, because it's rhythm and blues, and sometimes that could be slightly rhythmic. But if we're talking about R&B, the first person on that list is gonna be R. Kelly. You're definitely gonna have Usher on it. I think Chris Brown also gets on there, and then the fourth again. I'm saying that Michael Jackson is too great to be on an R&B list. He's on a pop list. He's on a pop or overall list. If we have an overall list, it's going to be him, Bob Marley, and we can get two more niggas. For overall music. Him, Bob Marley, two more niggas. I don't know if we can't put like the Beatles on there or something like that, but whatever. But I ain't going to lie to you. I'm down to replace Mike and put Whitney Houston. Mike is too great to be on this list. I'm sorry, he's too great to be on this list. When I think about R&B, I don't even think about Michael. I think about Mike with pop. Michael Jackson, he's synonymous with pop star. It's a reason why Drake raps about wanting to be this pop star, and he only equates himself with Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson is a quintessential pop star.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Michael is on a different, like I said, a different stratosphere than Chris Brown and us. That's actually like a disgrace. How you gonna put him? All right, since people want to use the analogy of sons and all that, that's like putting, Michael is the father. You putting him on the same level as his sons. What the fuck? Like, no. Without MJ, it's no Chris Brown Usher. So why the fuck you gonna put the creator and the followers on the same route Rushmore? That shit don't work like that. If they don't work, if it didn't work for Kobe, it shouldn't work for Chris Brown and Usher. You know what I'm saying? So why we keep putting them boys on the same level as Michael? They're not even on the same level. They haven't produced a Thriller. The closest Usher had for his Thriller moment was Confessions. And after that, he fell off. He didn't even have a bad era. So it's like, come on, man, we gotta stop doing that, y'all. Like, I don't think them boys deserve to be on it yet, bro. They haven't even done nothing really outstanding. It is that they've been in the industry so long and it was being pushed down our throats that we think they are legendary. But just think about it. What have they produced that is on the par of a Thriller, a Living in the Key, what it is, Songs in the Keys of Life, What's Going On, um, Luther first album, even a Freddie Jackson album, what else? They just don't have it, bro. Like, they just don't have it yet, and I just feel like people just pushing them down our throat so much that they haven't even deserved to even be on that level yet. They just been in the industry long because they started when they was young. It's like, it's crazy to me. And people can say, "Oh, Chris Brown first album." That's the only thing I can really see that it's still not on a par with no Thriller or What's Going On. It's just like a regular decent album for your first album. You know what I'm saying? And people keep going back to that. So, oh yeah, that's what he got on. Nah. In that Royalty album, it was straight, but it wasn't like something that you would be like, you're a champion of that album. More than anything, on an independent level as me, I have 4 classes today, 1 or 2 that people think is up there like that. What they can't make a more than you can fathom. They can't make a comic aggression where I'm talking about the mental imprisonment and I'm singing this shit. It's a concept R&B soul album. Who does that nowadays? And it's making sense and having a message for people to make them be more uplifted and go through life strong, bro. What R&B soul artist doing that, bro? Nobody, bro. So that's what I'm saying. They have yet to produce an album like that, but people keep saying that they are one of the best in the industry. That's why I say this industry shit gotta go, bro. Cause they're not people not really seeing the real talent, bro. They keep pushing this shit down our throats. The real, if you want to keep it real, if I would have signed that deal, I would have been on Rushmore, and that's facts. You're right, King. That's facts. But I'm gonna play this video right quick about one of the worst R&B singers of all time to me is Jacquees, bro. I hate this man. Only reason the girls like him because they think he look cute, but he's Keith Sweat better than him, and Keith Sweat always crying. But Jacquees is trash. He sound like when you trying to start up your car and it keep like cranking up. I got the video for that too, but we gonna let him talk about who Mount Rushmore is. He said even have no type of view or opinion on R&B since he said that shit he said 2 years ago. Tomorrow, I'm the king of R&B. How the fuck you the king of R&B? You ain't did shit. Nobody know you. What's going on? But we gonna let him so-called cook his opinion on the Mount Rushmores. Jacquees' music is so trash, bro. Like I don't understand how girls like this man music, bro. All right, homie, I'm gonna let him talk, but he just triggered me. The way he looked, I was gonna play the video.
Give me your R&B Mount Rushmore.
Of all time? All right.
Yes, of all time.
All time.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Me, Kels, Chris Brown, and Usher.
Okay, that's 4. Yeah, okay.
I don't know why this man put himself in the category of the Mount Rushmore. Like what? They did the most obvious answers: Kels, Chris Brown, and Usher. Like, come on, bro. Like, I got some more videos though, and we gonna let people just chime in and talk about, their Mount Rushmore, and because it's crazy. I'm just tired of people just, not seeing what's going on with it. Because everybody, you know what I'm saying, like most of these lists, nobody really produce a album that. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, they haven't really produced an album where where it can really define a artistry and people can go back and be like, yo, put that album on. You know what I'm saying? Put that album on because that's a classic, bro. I got some more videos uploaded real quick. I'm trying to get y'all to see it, but we're gonna still, you know what I'm saying? If anybody want to come on the panel, you come on the panel and talk about your your little view about it.
Who's in your Mount Rushmore then?
R. Kelly, Babyface, Marvin Gaye. This will surprise you. Chris Brown.
Let's just say Tank believes in separating the art from the artist.
In ours day, he was the pinnacle. The way he was doing it was, he was top of the food chain. It wasn't just the music, it was the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to Down Low and just separate those 2 songs from the remix and then add Mr. Biggs to it and the cinema, and like he made it a movie. Babyface, as a little kid only singing gospel, when the girls would ask me to sing a song, instead of singing What a Friend We Have in Jesus, I could sing a Babyface song.
Oh.
And that taught me how to write without all the extras.
Who is the artist that guaranteed panties off?
Every woman is absolutely different.
Oh, you sound like a hoe. You know when a man that had their day, they talk like this.
What day?
Thank you.
I'm in my day. I ain't had nothing.
Listen.
I'm having.
I was looking.
Man, I don't like Tank, bro. I just feel like he think he know it all. Like he think he the book of library of soul music or R&B. Like niggas try to go to him to ask for him answers about who was this and that, and his answer mean law. No, bro. I hate R&B artists like that. They think that they whole view about R&B is their way of R&B. You know, he made he made some a little bit of significant facts when he was saying about Ron Osley, because the Ozzy brothers is still played to this day. You know what I'm saying? And that's as far as R&B groups, Ozzy brothers up there for sure. I got them up there with Tony, Ozzy brothers. Who else? Who else? Commodores, and Ohio players. And I forgot about Earth, Wind, and Fire. Damn. Let me take out. I'm gonna take out Ohio players and put Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that's my top. Five R&B groups. Yeah, you're right. Tank is ever since the allegations of what he had going on. I feel like he know what it is, bro. He been at them Diddy parties, man. I know he been at them Diddy parties. Hold on, y'all. Another video.
I'm not gonna lie. Real talk, you hear me? This might be the best Mount Rushmore I ever seen ever in life, brother. No cap. We got Chris Brown, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, and Usher. Oh man. R&B, man. Who can you even like try to swap out for these four guys? Like, they all really got the best hits on earth. R. Kelly at the one, so if we're gonna put R. Kelly at one, Usher, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown could dance better than anybody else that we gonna name that could even compare them. So like, this might be the top four forever. Like, I don't think nobody like. No, we could put Anthony. No, he got to come in at 6. Anthony Hamilton, anybody else? Like, no, this top 4, bro, for sure. Yep, this is the best Mount Rushmore.
Man, see, they going off. They low key going off who can perform and shit. Like, come on, dog. Like, they going off. They not going off music for real. They going off who can perform and who does a good presentation of their music all the time. But we strictly sticking to music, bro, and albums. Michael, he out because he's on a different level. Chris Brown out. Usher out. R. Kelly, we talking about albums and singles and music, bro. He barely on the borderline with that shit, because you got to think about it. Where's Stevie? Where's Marvin? Where's Teddy P? Where's Luther? Where's Prince? I don't even put Prince on that, but where's Rick James? Because he made a song called Fire and Desire. That was a huge R&B hit. That's better than anything Chris Brown and Usher can do. Cause that's strong vocals, man. So it's like, bro, like what they produce that niggas can be like, yo, that shit compared with Fire and Desire by Rick James. Like, we gotta stop putting these boys on the pedestal, but because they perform good. We talking about music, bro. Hold on, y'all. I think somebody trying to call me, but we talking about music, bro. Hold on, y'all. But we talking about music, man. Like, when it comes to this R&B shit, like, take Chris Brown and Usher out that shit, and R. Kelly on the borderline, because after Chocolate Factory and Share My Love, he was kind of like out of here too. And what's the other one? 12 Play. 12 Play was good, but like, my favorite album by R. Kelly is Chocolate Factory, because it had the Step in the Name of Love, Ignition in it, and stuff like that. So, I got some more videos though. But yeah, man, that's just crazy to me, like how they keep putting them boys up. They like, hold on, I got some more videos. Somebody had called and kind of took me off my little course, man. But yeah, man, like,
Give me your Mount Rushmore. If you got 4 people to put on this mountain, are your 4 greatest, or Bobby Brown's 4 greatest R&B singers, who face are you putting on that mountain?
Damn. You calling me out right now.
I know one's going to be up there, Marvin Gaye. You're going to put Marvin up there.
Marvin is definitely up there. Prince is definitely up there.
Okay.
Michael's definitely up there. Stevie Wonder's definitely up there.
You ain't got no more. You got no more room.
You ain't got no
You
more
got
room.
no more room. I'm sorry. We have no more vacancies up here.
Way Shannon Sharp laugh, bro, it's crazy the way he be laughing. But yeah, Stylistics, Ozzy Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, Pound. Yeah, that's a good list, Kane. I fuck with it. Let me see. My favorite R. Kelly is 12 Play, then the R album, and then Trap in the Closet. I think that's what TP2 is. Was Trap in the Closet an album or a single? I think it was a single. I remember that one song, and then I thought it was an album, but it just had like 4 different versions or something like that, and it was Trap in the Closet, the album. I think I seen that somewhere, or a single, and it just had like 4 different parts to it. That was kind of like on some. It was big, like Thriller came on BET like I think a week after a week or something like that, or 4 days in a week. Yeah, that Trap in the Closet was like had his Thriller moment. So I feel like that was probably was his Thriller moment. Something Chris Brown would never had, but people keep putting this man up there because he danced like Michael Jackson. He don't even sound like Michael Jackson, but he danced like Michael Jackson. So they want to put him up there with Michael Jackson. Like, come on, man. Like, the only reason I feel like Chris Brown an industry plant, bro. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I feel like he an industry plant because they put him up there so quickly just because he could dance like Michael. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Usher, only reason he got into the industry is because Tevin Campbell wasn't trying to do nothing no more. They replaced him with Tevin Campbell because we ever noticed, like, Tevin Campbell was supposed to be what Usher is, a young guy singing, and that's when they found Usher. He was young, but he can't out sing Tevin Campbell though. That's the thing, and that's another thing. Where's Tevin Campbell? Like, we got Tevin Campbell who dropped a song called "Can We Talk," Always in My Heart, and he can actually blow. So to put him not on a Rushmore R&B, that's a disgrace. If we talk about pure R&B, Tevin Campbell gotta be up there, man, over Usher and Chris Brown, because this man started when he was young, out blowing Chris Brown when he was young and Usher. So where's Tevin Campbell? But see, like I said, people always go by who could perform their art so good, dancing like somebody else who already came out. They want to put them on a pedestal because they sound like somebody else or remind them of somebody else. What the fuck is that? This generation of music listeners is weak. We need people to have their own style to make this artistry good again. This like with hip hop. But people don't want to see it like that. Everybody else got to sound somebody for some people to pay attention to. When somebody got their own thing going on, it's really hard for people to understand what they have going on, bro. Yeah, you're right. Tevin Campbell did the Goofy movie back in the. Yeah, I remember that. I was loved, but I remember the Goofy movie, bro. And then he did something with he did a movie for Minister Society. He did a soundtrack for Minister Society, and he was killing that song. And then he went to Apollo and was destroying the audiences, bro. I feel like if Apollo was popping back in the day, Chris Brown wouldn't even be questioning on Apollo, bro. Like, I feel like they'll try to boo him, or he won't even have a good performance. You know what I'm saying? And where's Ralph Tessman on the Mount Rushmore? You don't even have Ralph Tessman. And he had a #1 album where he had Sensitivity on it. You had Stone Cold Gentleman. That was a good album. I got another video for y'all.
My R&B Mount Rushmore. This is going to be a lot different than a lot of the Rushmores you've been seeing. Because for me, Mount Rushmore represents the people who were the pillars of the sound that created an element that was forever ingrained, that everybody downline benefited from and used and built off of. So number 1, Louis Jordan. Why Louis Jordan? Louis Jordan is the first king of R&B. He's the first person that made R&B a popular genre. With songs like Choo Choo Cha Boogie, he rapped. He also had songs like Brother Beware, where he was very sarcastic and joking. And his most famous song, you heard on the cartoon Tom and Jerry, when Tom would play, "Is you is, or is you ain't my baby. What Louis Jordan did was he brought a lightheartedness. Now, the blues was all about tough times and what was going on. Louis Jordan brought that lightheartedness, and he was really the first person, the first popular artist in rhythm and blues. And he was somebody who inspired later on James Brown and other artists. So I'm going to start off with him. Number 2 is going to be Ray Charles. Why Ray Charles? Ray Charles is the one that ingrained the gospel. He brought the gospel element into rhythm and blues. And the gospel groove and the gospel feeling is what Motown, Stax Records, and really 70s and 80s R&B really thrived off of, all the way through R. Kelly. R. Kelly had a lot of gospel vocals in what he did, but the person who really intertwined the gospel with R&B was Ray Charles. And so that's an element that you cannot do without, because it's a lot of genres that we've created, like boogaloo, doo-wop, and different things like that were around for a while and faded out. So you know, there's certain people that brought in elements that made the genre get new life and get rebirth and continue to grow and go. So that's why Ray Charles, and Ray Charles also exemplifies an artist that can play all throughout genres, because at the end of the day, all American music is black, whether it's country, western, bluegrass, hip hop, or R&B, or heavy metal. It's all our stuff. And Ray Charles represented an artist that not only was a king of R&B and brought in a great element to R&B, but he was also a master at country western, a master at jazz, a master at the other forms that we create as a people. Number 3, James Brown. Why James Brown? James Brown represents the element of star power and using your star power in the right way to influence the movement of the people with songs like Black and I'm Proud. James Brown also brought in the funk. He's the creator of funk. And funk is the master genre that hip hop is a subgenre of. And because he brought that beat, when James Brown put it on the one, he changed the full texture of how a rhythm and blues song is played and done. And you see that influence through Michael Jackson's in songs like Billie Jean. And the dance track that, whether it be Usher, Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, the music that they dance to the most, that the best, most effectively, are extensions of the funk. And you got to give James Brown all the credit for that, because it did not exist before he got there. So that's why James Brown got to be there. And then number 4 for me is Stevie Wonder. Why Stevie Wonder? I'll tell you why. He represents past, present, and future. He was one of the early child stars. His first hit was 13 years old with the song Fingertips. Stevie Wonder, his vocal stylings. His vocal stylings you hear through Charlie Wilson, you hear it through R. Kelly, you hear it through basically through Trey Songz, through Neo. They all have extensions of Stevie Wonder vocally. Stevie Wonder also represents the artist that covers the different levels of music making. He produced his own stuff, he wrote, he played the instruments, and he sang. He did all 4 levels of the sound. And he also wrote and produced for other people. He wrote Can't Help It for Michael Jackson. You know, he wrote hits for Minnie Riperton and DeBarge and so on and so forth. So Stevie Wonder not only did it with his pen, he did it with his music production, and he also did it with his playing. You know, he's one of the first artists to play all the instruments on a project. Not because he's the first artist that could. There were artists that could do that before him, play all the instruments, but Stevie Wonder came along at a time, right at the end of one track, single track recording, and he came back at a time of 8, later on 16 and 32 track recording. So as that technology started to get introduced, Stevie took advantage of it by playing all of the instruments on certain songs on albums like Songs in the Key of Life, where he played everything. And so he represents those elements, and he also represents the zenith of the color and beauty that you can bring into the music and all of the elements that he would incorporate into a sound. He also represents the beginning of the electronic sound, which later on 90s R&B sounds like New Jack Swing and hip hop would thrive off of, the electronic sound. Songs like Village Ghetto Land was the first time string section was composed completely on the keyboard, and a lot of the instrumentation, a lot of the keyboard instrumentation and computer instrumentation that will later become the thing that music thrives off now. Stevie Wonder was at the forefront of incorporating that into his music. Stevie Wonder is a major reason why electric music had a life, because he understood how to bring life to it and then get people onto that more electric sound. So Stevie Wonder represents all of those elements. You know, if you want to make a list about who your favorite people are, that's fine. Make your list about, I'm not here to argue with nobody. But my personal list is about a Mount Rushmore. And Mount Rushmore has always represented the pillars of a country. No matter how you feel about this country, no matter how you feel about Mount Rushmore, the purpose of it is to represent four. Four is to represent is the number of foundation, and to represent the people who represent the foundation of the nation, from George Washington being the first president, Thomas Jefferson being the one that wrote the Declaration of Independence, to Theodore Roosevelt representing the conservation and the national park system, to Abraham Lincoln, the preservation of the Union and the ending of slavery, and them people being the four presidents that represent the corrupt values of the United States of America. And that's the purpose of a Mount Rushmore, is to, no matter how you feel about the people, you use people that did historically great things as a teaching tool, so people always remember how these particular elements got ingrained in whatever history you're teaching. So my Mount Rushmore of music are four artists that brought in elements to the music that still exists to this day. And if you want to say Nat King Cole, throw him in there. If you want to throw Ronald Isley or Michael Jackson, I'm not going to argue with nobody on that stuff. But my Mount Rushmore is about teaching, and it's about honoring. Really, it's about honoring the people and the artists that brought in these immovable elements that later artists thrived off of. Without Louis Jordan's lightning blues up and being more performative and sarcastic and more fun and relaxed and free with the music, you know, that's how you get to what we have right now. Ray Charles's gospel element that really bring the soul into what we have. That's how you sustain it. James Brown's performance and changing of the beat, to Stevie Wonder's taking it to a whole nother level and bringing in the elements of electronic music and vocal stylings that we still use till this day. So that's my Mount Rushmore. Hey, whatever yours is, that's cool too.
Man, I totally agree with dude. He gave us a history lesson. He broke it down. It's not enough less to say after this. After that, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody else, like I say, he broke it down. You can't argue with the album. Everybody else's album, besides me and Hurricane, everybody else's album had popularity and their favorites based off their personal, which is okay. You have a personal choice, but at the same time, like it gotta make sense. Don't put Chris Brown up there if he haven't really did shit. That's like I like Anthony Edwards as a basketball player, but that's like putting Anthony Edwards on the Mount Rushmore with Michael Jordan, and he didn't do shit yet. And Chris Brown been in the industry for a long time and still didn't do shit that can compare with a Thriller, What's Going On, Songs, Keys of Life, or anything that can have a epic era where people can go back to and be like, yo, where you was at when that came out? Chris Brown has none of that, or Usher, bro. Like that shit crazy to me. Stop putting them boys up there yet. And Usher still haven't topped Confessions, and even Confessions not even up there with Thriller or What's Going On, but he still haven't topped Confessions, bro. And it been over about like a whole decade, 20 years. Where's his second like bad album type after Thriller album? Like he has not that, bro. So stop putting this man. All right, we talking about championship rings. Usher got 1 ring. Chris Brown got no rings. Marvin Gaye got 3 rings. Mike got 3 rings. Stevie got about like 6 rings. If you want to keep it like that, keep it a buck. Like, come on, man. R. Kelly got, I'm gonna say, R. Kelly got 2 rings, and he went to the finals and lost one. He got 2 rings and went to the finals and lost one. That's what I feel about it. But people did they just go by who could perform their song instead of going by, yeah, Luther got 3. I ain't gonna lie. Luther got 3. He got 3. But Chris Brown has no rings yet, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they keep putting this man up there. He has no rings. He went to the finals a lot, but haven't won yet. You said R. Kelly got 3? I ain't gonna lie. I think he got 3 too. Cause that song with Share My Love on it was a good album. The Chocolate Factory was a good album. Then I keep forgetting the other one. It's 12 Play. There's another one that came after that. And then Trap in the Closet. I'm gonna say Trap in the Closet was like an MVP type trophy right there. Cause that was a single. If that was an album, that would have been his ring too. So I'm gonna say three or 4 in the possible for Kelly. And with that, I can see why people put him up on a Mount Rushmore. Cause he got 3 to 4 rings. But like Chris Brown, why is he there, bro? He don't have no rings. Like, and people gonna be like, his first album and that royalty album, but no, bro. Because that royalty album, you could actually forget some of them songs on there if you haven't jammed them for a minute. Like me, I haven't jammed Thriller in a long time, but I can still remember certain songs like "Want to Be Starting Something," "Baby Be Mine," and "Baby Mine" was the most underrated song off Thriller, and I still remember that song. "Lady in My Life," "Human Nature," "PYT," "Billie Jean," "Beat It." That's the whole track list. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't name nothing off that royalty album that people be like, "Oh, that's Chris Brown ring." No, I can't remember no tracks off the album, bro. Like, the only one I remember is, I want to say Liquor. I ain't gonna lie, Bobby Brown got one. Cause after Don't Be Cruel, the Bobby album, it was a good album, but it took him to the finals, bro. That's it. Cause it couldn't equal up to Don't Be Cruel. Cause Don't Be Cruel had a second wave after that. Cause Don't Be Cruel, that's why it took so long for the Bobby album to come out after Don't Be Cruel, because Don't Be Cruel had a second wave. So that job was crazy. Cause Don't Be Cruel came out in '88, and then it had a second wave like in the 1989 and 90, and early part of 91. And after that, he had to bring out another album because he was already 3 years in without no album, without no second album after Don't Be Cruel. Johnny Gill. If Johnny Gill got one ring, I'm gonna give Ralph Tesman 1 ring then, because that first Ralph Tesman album was hard. I'm gonna give Ralph Tesman 1 ring, bro. If Johnny Gill got 1 ring, I'm gonna give Ralph Tesman 1. This about all New Edition got 1 ring, if you think about it, because BBD got 1. They got 1 ring because that first album, all their first albums was dope, bro. So BBD got 1. Johnny Gill, Bobby Brown, and Ralph Tesman, bro. They all got 1 ring. And New Edition as a whole, them boy got about like 4 rings, minus their solo career. Keith Sweat, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Cam. I don't like Keith Sweat. I like his first album. Well, I Want Her. I like the song Want Her. I like the parody you did with his song. Reference Deep got 4. Yup, solo career and groups. Cause that Tony album. I'm trying to find the name of it. I jam the album every day, bro. I'm trying to find the name of it. I think it's called Sons of Soul. That album by them was a ring. Rapper Sadiq solo album, The Way I See It, is a ring. Rolling Stone is a ring. His first album is a ring. That's about 4 right there. And then you forgot about the House of Blues album with Tony. That's a ring. He got so many rings, bro. Stevie got about like what I see. Stevie got 4. Stevie got 4 rings. Let me see. Who else? Mike got. I'm gonna say Mike got 3 or 4. I'm gonna say Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous. That's 4 rings. Who else? Teddy P got 1 or 2 rings. James Brown got. I'm gonna say James Brown got 5 rings. I'm gonna say he got 5 rings because he was the pioneer. You know what I'm saying? That and some of his stuff, like, you gotta really tap into his album to really see how good of an album is. So if I'm gonna say 5 or 4 as well. But yeah, it's nothing else left to say, bro. I had to get that off my chest because I got tired of people saying Chris Brown and Usher is in the same space as Michael Jackson. That's not true because one got one ring and he barely got that. That's why he can't create nothing else to compete with that album. Chris Brown has no rings because he keep trying to be something he not instead of sticking to his roots. If he would have stuck to the roots of his first album, I would have gave him 2 or 3 rings by now. But like I said, he want to be something he not, and he messing up his whole aura, his whole artistry to me. He just doing too much, trying to be Michael Jackson, trying to be a hood nigga, you know what I'm saying, and not being what he need to be, and that's himself. So my Mount Rushmore, like I say, Revel Sadiq, Stevie, Marvin Gaye, and Curtis Mayfield. Curtis Mayfield got 3 rings too. He got 3 rings. And that's all I want to say, man. I appreciate everybody that came through who didn't comment. My boy Kane comment though and chime in with the conversation. That's all I needed for me. And yeah, so let me know in the comments who y'all, top Rushmore people is. And like I say, man, music got to change because too many people sounding the same, and we gonna never have nobody to like. I don't even care. I want the industry to die anyway, so indie artists can actually blossom and people will come out the woodworks jamming our music and be like, damn, they like our shit, you support her. And that's how it's gonna have to be. I want to get back to the organic way of making music where people actually have to find their music and find their people that they like instead of being pushed down our throats, bro. And like I said, I'm continue making music because I love that shit. I got more albums coming, and like I said, my Mount Rushmore, if it's up to me and I was in the industry, it'll be me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep my list, but I'm gonna put me in the honor mentions. Like I'm putting me at the end. So that's how I feel about it. Like I can't be, I never put myself above my influences or people that were before me. I always try to take from them and become greater in my own little way. And more to come, man. Abundance, I say to everybody, one love, we out.